Have you ever thought about the impossible? Have you ever thought of an alternative that would completely change history in a split second? A duel between father and son changed the galaxy, turning the Dark Lord, Vader, back into the light, eventually saving his son. But what if events went differently in another galaxy, far, far away? What if Luke Skywalker slayed the Dark Lord on Bespin? Have you ever thought about it? I bet you do. Welcome back to the second episode of my Star Wars What If series. If you haven't checked out my first episode, What If Anakin Skywalker Murdered Obi-Wan Kenobi, do make sure to check out both parts in the link down below. That being said, let's dive right into this new galaxy. Lightsabers clashed, and the young Skywalker fights with fear in his eyes, trying to gain the upper hand over Vader. Vader plays with the boy, toying with him. Every swing Skywalker makes is met with Vader's lightsaber. Knowing the duel is near its end, Luke panics, trying to catch the Dark Lord, trying to squeeze a mistake out of him. He fails. Luke flew to a planet to confront one of the most powerful beings in the galaxy. He realizes the warnings old Ben and Yoda gave him before this duel on Dagobah. With each passing moment, Skywalker knows his fate. Vader swings his lightsaber in the air, and within a split second, the young Skywalker sees an opening and takes it. Without realizing it, he changes history. Luke rolled out of the way frantically, dodging the lightsaber of Darth Vader. He only had a second to react when Vader swung his lightsaber down again, instinctively somersaulting, and time seemed to slow as Vader altered the trajectory of the lightsaber. Luke fell and slowly looked up in fear to see the dark figure towering over him. Luke looked over to see his saber hilt behind Vader's feet. Luke felt the wind with each passing moment coursing through his body, his heart beating with each passing step as he slowly got back up to confront Darth Vader. He watched in horror while his lightsaber sat on the edge of the railing on the walkway behind Vader. He crawled back onto the narrow shaft overlooking an endless abyss. An intense feeling coursed through his body. Hopelessness. This was it. It was over. He stood holding his ground and faced Vader. "Luke, join me and the Darkside. Embrace your destiny," Vader said. "I will never join you," Luke screamed. "I will complete your training. We will rule the galaxy together. You will feel the power of the Darkside," Vader said, clenching his hand into a fist. "Obi-Wan never told you about your father." Taking the opportunity, he glanced over to Vader's feet. Vader's voice cut out as Luke's lightsaber ignited and lodged into the back of the Dark Lord's neck. Vader dropped to his knees. An unimaginable scream came from his cybernetics. Vader used all of his energy, trying to do anything he could to get a word out, but the young Skywalker tapped into the dark side, using all of his might to force push Vader over the shaft. Skywalker pulled the lightsaber out of the crack between his helmet and neck. Vader gasped in pain and collapsed down into the abyss of Bespin. It wasn't a clear cut, but it had penetrated just far enough. Luke smiled. He would be remembered forever as the Jedi who killed Darth Vader. Years of doubt if he would ever be powerful enough disappeared from his mind. He was the chosen one. He picked up Vader's lightsaber with the Force, putting it on his belt. All he needed to do now was get back to his ship, save Han Solo, and kill Emperor Palpatine. It honestly seemed fairly easy. His training on Dagobah had made him invincible in his mind. He had learned from Yoda, and Luke felt that it was enough he needed to become a Jedi Knight. He had even learned of the ancient technique of how to wield a lightsaber without holding one. True, he couldn't do it all the time, but he had just learned how to do it a few weeks ago. He walked back across the walkway. Sheev Palpatine sat aboard a shuttle, unable to feel his apprentice in the Force. The Emperor smirked. Palpatine gathered a group of spies to Bespin, and they followed the boy to Dagobah. The Emperor himself boarded the shuttle to meet his new student. Looking down on the planet, he wondered why young Luke Skywalker had decided to come here of all places. A mostly inhabitable place, but strong in the Force. One of the spies had wisely decided to place a tracking device in Luke's ship when he left it unoccupied during his fight with Vader. Poor Vader was never strong enough, though a good servant for a time who carried out most of Palpatine's plan. Now he was cast aside like a stray dog. He had a new apprentice now. Young Skywalker was able to defeat Vader without any training in the Darkside. Imagine what Skywalker could do under his training. Luke sat beside Yoda. Yoda laid in his bed, as he had since Luke had arrived back on Dagobah. Luke had told Yoda about how he killed Darth Vader, but Yoda had been very silent and said he was too tired for such stories. He had been mad that Yoda seemingly didn't believe him until he realized that Yoda was dying. Unfortunately, Han still needed to be saved. Hopefully others in the rebellion could help him. He couldn't leave Yoda to die alone. Luke heard a ship and ran outside to see a singular pod land on the ground nearby. He was confused. Nobody was supposed to know about this place. Then Palpatine stepped out laughing. A brief moment of fear swept over him. Palpatine spoke. "So you killed Vader, your father." Luke laughed. "I have avenged my father and killed Vader. I'm not afraid of you." Yoda and Obi-Wan never told you, Luke. They tricked you into killing your own father. Monsters. Darth Vader was your father, Luke. Anakin Skywalker. Palpatine smirked. A horrible knot began to form in Luke's stomach. "He wasn't my father," Luke shouted. He had been moving his lightsaber with the Force and tried to repeat what he had done to Vader previously. Palpatine lifted his hand, and the lightsaber stopped in midair behind the back of his skull. "Clever trick, boy," he laughed. Luke charged at Palpatine, hoping to distract him from his Force hold on the lightsaber. Palpatine lifted his other arm and pointed his pale fingers at Luke. Lightning shot out of them and knocked him back to the ground. He was helpless as he sat there, spasming. "You will turn to the dark side. You will be a powerful Sith Lord," Palpatine said. Suddenly, Yoda dropped from the trees above Palpatine. The Emperor smirked, using the full power of the Force to shock Yoda. "So this is where you've been hiding all these years, Master Yoda. Now you will witness the full power of the dark side." The Emperor had two of his palms, his hands extending in both directions, one on the young Luke Skywalker, and the other on the frail Grand Master Yoda. Yoda was still powerful in the Force, but was dying. The Force lightning shocked the life out of Yoda. He tried to speak to Luke, but in that split second, he vanished into the Force as a blue orb. Luke screamed out in hopelessness. Palpatine smiled at victory and told Skywalker that he would become the next Vader as Luke screamed with Force lightning cutting into his skin. And that is going to be What If Luke Skywalker Killed Darth Vader in Empire Strikes Back. We can see how one small action, one small change, can change an entire galaxy and an entire timeline. I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and if you guys want to see a part 2 of this, let me know in the comments down below. Again, I apologize that I wasn't here for a little bit because I did have COVID, so it really knocked the wind out of me. I used voice AI for a few videos, but that being said, I'm back, I'm better than ever, and I can't wait to come back making content for you guys. It's going to be fantastic. I got a lot more videos that's Marvel related, DC related, and Star Wars related, and a few crossover videos. That being said, do make sure to subscribe, like, share, and turn your notifications on. If you and your friends like these videos, I would highly suggest to check out the Patreon, as I have exclusive content on there that I know you guys will enjoy. That being said, take care and have a fantastic day.